Hi and welcome to my latest video. It is Monday the 3rd of January, which means that 1 week today, the second season of the 2021-2022 Zwift Race League kicks off, and I'm racing the Premier Division for MOVISTAR. So I thought it would be a good chance to give you guys a bit of a preview about the season to come, the teams that are going to be racing and who we all need to be looking out for. This is my third season as MOVISTAR team. Oh, by the way, I do have my laptop on my lap because there are lots of different course names that I won't be able to remember, so I've got a couple of prompts. I'm very sorry. This is my third race for MOVISTAR, and in extremely exciting news, we have a new rider joining us this season who is Hayley Simmons, and she absolutely lit up the British time trial scene last season, so I am incredibly excited to be racing alongside her. I properly fangirl all of the girls on my team. We've got Becky, who's currently the Scottish national champion, and Beth, who came second to her as well, joining myself and Anna, who is like haute route extraordinaire over in mainland Europe. So we have an incredible team. This season is 6 races instead of 8 because 2 weeks after the culmination of this season we have the e-racing World Championships. So Zwift are finishing it early enough to let those that have qualified recover a little bit, which is a good idea. They are completely different courses to normal, and each of them have incredibly exciting points, opportunities, which is different and new and something that I am really looking forward to. The Zwift Race League is a weekly race series where teams turn up. You have 5 racers that race each week and you get series points based on your finishing position. There are intermediate sprint points, there are KOM or QOM points, and there are team time trials as well. So that is the Premier Division, and then there are also the community leagues, which extend down all the way to, I think it's D category. So every week there are thousands of people racing across the world, and it is absolutely awesome. We're all racing on the same course. There are just some slight points differences between Premier Division and Community League, but it is really cool. It's a really cool thing to be a part of. So yeah, you get your points for your finishing each race. That gives you a season ranking, and within the Premier Division there is prize money. I think this season it's prize money for every competing team in the Premier Division, which is huge. So we have quite a considerable prize purse, and it really provides a great incentive for everyone that's turning up to race and to give it everything every week, because that hour is probably the hardest hour of exercise that you will ever do. So course 1 is on the 10th of January, and it is the NEOKYO All-Nighter, which is a brand new course based on the very recent MAKURI Island expansion. It is 24.6 kilometres with 100 metres of elevation. There are 4 sprint points and 1 KOM finish line points. Sorry, there are 4 sprints and there's 1 KOM with multiple points across all of them. I wouldn't say this is a pure sprinters course because of that KOM, so it's much more likely to go to the punchy sprinters who can break the course apart up that climb and drop perhaps the pure sprinters who won't be able to recover in time, ready for the finish line. Then course 2 is on the 17th of January, and that is the London Classic course, which is 38.3 kilometres and 128 metres of elevation, which is 6 laps. It is 5 times through the sprint arch, with the 6th time being the finish line. And I think this is going to be a pure sprinters course, as long as there are no moves made on the one, I think there's 1 6% section where drafting gets kind of completely annulled. Course 3 is the New York Park Perimeter Loop on the 24th of January. This is 39.1 kilometres with 505 metres of elevation and is 5 laps. So it's 4 times through the sprint arch with accumulating points each time. And by that I mean the first lap there's 10 points for the winner, and by the 4th lap there are 40 points for the winner. Because of this, and looking at the elevation with no major climbs to break the course apart, I think it's going to be a bit of an attritional race. So each lap more and more people will drop off on the couple of steeper sections that we have, and they won't necessarily have the strength to get back on again. There is a massive drag up to the finish with like 9%, so that's going to completely smash it apart and could actually prevent a pure sprinter from winning if they manage to hold on throughout the whole race. So course 4 is my favourite race. It's the team time trial on, I think it's DOUCE, France. It's the 31st of January and it's 24.2 kilometres with 130 metres of climbing. We've done this one before and it is a lot of fun. New this season is a KOM bonus for extra series points up the 1 KOM that we have to do. It's super short, it's only about a minute and a half, I think, maybe even a minute. But the top rider from each team will get ranked and the fastest rider will get points for their team and then second and then third, which is a super exciting decision for TTT. Course 5 is Temples and Towers. So from here they start to get really interesting. On February the 7th, this is another new course. It's 33.1 kilometres with 320 metres of climbing. Again, there are 3 KOMs, each with increasing points. The final climb to the line we did last season and it is fully gravel. There are always questions, do you switch to gravel bike? Do you stick with road? And I think a lot of us learned a lot of lessons last season that will probably inform what decision we make this year. I'll cover off what I'm going to make later on. It will definitely be attritional until that point, but that final climb is going to blow the field apart quite a little bit and I expect it will be individual riders crossing the line, but the gaps won't be quite as big as the final course, which is on February the 14th, a lovely Valentine's present for us all, and it's called Climbers Gambit. Last season we didn't have any pure climbing courses, so this one is incredibly exciting. It's 27.9 kilometres with 680 metres of climbing. I think it's the best course of the season. Whether I agree with myself when I'm halfway up this climb, we'll wait to be seen. There is a sprint points early on. There is KOM points before the main climb as well. And then up the main climb, there is a bonus points section that will give us race and series points for the fastest. I think it's fastest across the line, but I will double check that obviously before I get to the race. The final part is a 10 to 13 minute climb. I can't remember off the top of my head and I've never just done that climb on the back, so it's the backside of the Epic KOM. There will be minimal drafting throughout because it's basically above 4% for the whole climb, and it's going to completely change the dynamics of the race. So that is one that I am looking forward to. Not that I'll necessarily be any good at it, but it is just one of those ones that you just bury yourself for 10 minutes at the end, which is great fun. So they are the quick recaps of the 6 weeks. We have some awesome teams to watch this season. I am very biased, so Movistar, E-Team, we're definitely going to be up there. We have arguably one of the best sprinters in the Zwift Premier League with Beth. And with the final climbing course, it's something that Becky is really going to excel at. So look out for us. We also have the usual teams that are at the top in the Premier Division. So HEINO are always strong and just tactically race phenomenal races. So they are definitely going to be up there. Canyon Esports gave them a run for their money this season, so will undoubtedly be up there too. AEONIAN have a number of very strong riders who will pull out top performances. So where they may not place quite as high in the general overall rankings, they always have riders right at the top, which kind of boosts their series points amazingly. And then Beast Mode have Julia, who is a phenomenal Zwift racer, and it's going to be amazing to see how they build on their successes of last season into this season. And one of the teams coming up from the community division last year is WAHOO. They had a strong enough team in the community division and they've recruited some awesome riders coming into this season. So I have no doubt at all that they're going to be fighting for the top positions too. I'm going to go through each of these courses every week. We're going to put together a bit of a series, so I'll do a preview and then we're going to have some race footage and then I'm going to try and do a hot debrief straight after the race where I talk you guys through what's happened and what my thoughts were, what the results were, any mistakes that I made, and if I was completely wrong in my predictions. So I'll see you guys in the pain cave.